I know you trust my opinion and my view. Virgil van Dijk has been absolute back to his best. And
Yeah.
me, I'm the biggest one to hold my hand up, and I didn't see that. All the Liverpool fans that are watching this, I'm sorry. I'm one of the few that thought Virgil van Dijk was not finished, but we'd seen the best of Virgil van Dijk. How wrong I was. He's
Mhm.
been absolute mesmeric.
Well, let me ask you on this, man, because I don't really get um, the situation with Liverpool's board at the moment. I praised Slot, I praised the players. For the board to allow Trent, Van Dijk, and Salah to have 1 year left on their deal, if they haven't already, I think heads need to roll, Grizz. Like, that is an absolutely criminal, sackable offence. But I get Van Dijk and Salah, and if you want my honest opinion, I think they probably will sign another 1 year deal with Liverpool. If that's just my opinion, you probably know that if they will or not. Trent, I'd worry about if I was a Liverpool fan. I would. I know he's a Liverpool lad, and it'd be amazing to see him with the armband, and I'm sure that deep down he'd love that. But when Real Madrid do come knocking and your best mate's playing over there, it's very hard to say no. And we're going to find that out in a few years with Saliba if we don't start winning as well, right? That's what happens in football. But surely letting him go on a free transfer is just an absolute criminal offence. So 25 years old, won everything in the game. Maybe he's looking at a new challenge. Do you, as a Liverpool fan, feel disappointed by the board for allowing this to happen? What's actually gone on there, man? It's a madness. This is what happened with Arsenal a few years back. If you remember, over the years, Van Persie's and Sanchez's, we've seen Fabregas's, Ozil's, all come down to like last year, and we're like, what are the board doing? They're asleep or what? So, look, man, that's my thoughts on it. It might sound harsh or brutal, but I just feel like it needs to be said.
Nah, you're not brutal. You're not harsh at all. Anyone looking from the outside, anyone looking from the inside, forget the outside. Anyone looking for, even as a Liverpool fan, you think to yourself, from the most efficient, well-run club, I believe, in terms of at the highest level in Europe, to this, what the fuck happened? So let me bore you with a little bit of context and background information that some people may know about, some people may not know about. Because on the surface of it, Mohamed Salah, Virgil van Dijk, Trent, that's like that's like probably £300 million worth of talent. That's potentially not potentially, you're not getting a fee for now if they weren't to sign extension. Like that's malpractice. That's fucking dysfunctional club settings. That's not Liverpool settings. But there's been a lot of dysfunctionality at Liverpool in the last 2 years, I'd say, Dan. You gotta remember Michael Edwards leaves. Instill a bit of a mystery in terms of why he went. Now, I know why he went. He went for his personal growth in terms of he became bigger than his job and his role at Liverpool. So he wanted to become a super agent, super director of football, not director of football. He wanted to director of a club, which he essentially is now of Liverpool, right? Sporting director. But there was murmurings, and I've heard murmurings myself, that there was not quite that amazing relationship that he had with Klopp that everyone thinks he had. All right, so a bit of a Grizz Bomber exclusive. He didn't have that amazing relationship with Jurgen Klopp. Him and Jurgen Klopp were professional, brilliant, but Klopp is very much his own man. I know he's got this persona of everyone's mate and everything, but Klopp was very much like Wenger, and I've always done that comparison. Do you remember I used to do that comparison
You
with
did.
Wenger
Yeah.
back in the day? Klopp was very much like that. He's very much his own man, very stubborn in his own set ways, kind of thing. So you got to remember, Michael Edwards leaves. Michael Edwards then leaves Julian Ward in charge, who's his protege. Julian Ward talks about a dream job. This has been my dream, blah, 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 coming through, wherever. Doesn't last a year, Dan. What kind of dream job is that? If there's something happened there. Julian Ward walks out, resigns. It's not sacked or anything, right? Again, conspiracy theories, word on the street. Again, it's Jurgen Klopp related. You got to remember Pep Linders comes in at that same time, right? Pep Linders has more of a say on proceedings. Director of football has less of a say on proceedings, right? So this is all going on behind the scenes. 2 directors of football have left the club. You got to remember Billy Hogan, our chief exec, has a change of role. He actually leaves his role and goes on to another role. These are all people that are day-to-day dealing with contracts, players, wages, buying, selling. People don't know about this, may not know about this in the background. This is huge shit that's happening in the background. Jurgen Klopp then appoints someone he knows, an absolute nobody, a bum called George Schmacker, as his director of football. It's literally like, no disrespect, but it's like calling Dan. Dan, what's happening? Yeah, Dan, I got a restaurant. Just bought a restaurant, Dan. No, sorry, I run a restaurant. My chef's gone. Pop in. Oh, Grizz, what the fuck, man? What do you want me to do? Oh, I used to work in KFC about 20 years ago. That's all I know. That'll do. Come on, Dan. Give me a hand. And you're like, oh, I can't say no. Fucking it's Grizz. George Schmacker, fucking nobody knows nobody. Nobody knows him. He's coming as a footballing director. Again, at the same time, contracts are running down, nothing's being done, no one's taking charge. Billy Hogan's changed roles. Then, at the same time, Dan, people forget this, our club went out for sale. David Ornstein isn't the GOAT for no reason. If David Ornstein tells you that Liverpool are out for sale, regardless of the facts, what the owners come out and say everything, oh no, we were never up for sale. No. Ornstein done his research, done his digging. Liverpool, and I know for a fact as well, I'm not no David Ornstein, but I know a few people that speak to a few people, and I know I'm totally agreement with David Ornstein when the owners were looking to get out if they got their asking price. They didn't get their asking price. Billy Hogan comes back into his role thinking, fuck, all right, we didn't get sold, right, because he wanted out. There was a split between our 2 owners. Henry wanted to stay on, Werner wanted out. A lot of people know this. Don't know people. This is behind the scenes, but it's major shit. Your everyday person won't know this, right? Directors of football, the biggest director of football in world football at that stage probably was Michael Edwards, along with Monchi of Roma. Right?
Oh yeah.
The top guys, right? Everyone knows these guys. Everyone wants them. When Edwards left, Man United wanted him, Chelsea wanted him, Real Madrid tried to lure him. Everyone tried to get in Michael Edwards. That's how big he was. They're all gone. Schmacker's in charge with Klopp making and Pep Linders making the calls. Klopp starts buying his players on the advice of Pep Linders. Contracts are being neglected. Nothing's being done. Club wants out. We don't even know. There's so much uncertainty behind the scenes, basically, Dan, that they took their eye off the ball massively in terms of transfers. When was the last time you fucking heard Liverpool make £115 million bid on last day for? We're not disorganized like that. That's panic shit. This is the kind of things we were doing. So that's why all of the major issues like transfers and players' contracts were just, and you can understand from the players' point of view, not being certain about the future. Like, what the fuck? Like, what if Jurgen's going then? Because it does end up Jurgen going. You got to remember, Jurgen walks out as well. The ultimate dysfunctional situation. And again, I'm telling you and your audience and the people, Jurgen Klopp didn't leave because he was tired. That's all I'm saying to you. Jurgen Klopp didn't leave because he was tired. And I don't want to say no more. If I speak, you know what I mean? So you can see the situation behind the scene at the club from top to bottom. We had record amount of staff leaving us, Dan. Record amount of staff left us over the last 18 months. No club has had this turnover of staff. It's unprecedented. I'm talking coaches, dinner ladies, doctors, physios, you know, statisticians, the analysts, sorry, the data team. So many people left. And as a result, eye off the ball. It is a sackable offense, but who do you sack? They're all fucking gone in the first place. Who are you sacking? The director of football's left as it is. So now, director of football is in charge. Michael Edwards, they bring back the man they know. Oh, look, Michael Edwards is coming back. Jurgen Klopp's off. That's all I'm saying. Right? I'm telling you now that it's not all rosy between them two. But FSG have gone back to the two people that they knew made their club, Jurgen Klopp and Michael Edwards. Jurgen Klopp can't work together, right? They can't work together. So FSG have said, all right, if Jurgen's going to go, Jurgen's going to go. We're going to bring back Michael Edwards to oversee everything to do with their project football, not just Liverpool. Michael Edwards has come back to work for FSG to cover their whole football network. And then Michael Edwards, of course, has brought in his boy, Richard Hughes. And now Richard Hughes and Michael Edwards have inherited this mess because Michael Edwards didn't let this kind of shit happen. Michael Edwards didn't want to give Gini Wijnaldum a new contract. Klopp did. Michael Edwards didn't want to give Milner a new contract. Klopp did. Michael Edwards didn't want to give Henderson a new contract. Naby Keita, he wanted to flog him long time ago. These were all Jurgen Klopp's. You know, Jurgen Klopp's different. He wanted sentimental, his warriors, he wanted to keep them. This was a big, huge mess that they've inherited, mate. And people have to be patient. It's the hardest thing to do as a fan. Hardest thing to do. But we're in a shithole that we are in now. In terms of those contracts, I don't think we're in a shithole club. I think we're in a very good situation overall. But with the contracts, it's a waiting game. It's not a simple game. Because I said to you, Michael Edwards is a mean mother. He's not one of these that just gives out contracts willy-nilly. He works to a system, how he operates. And he's instilled that into Richard Hughes as well. So now, personally, if you put me on the spot, which you will, so I'm going to save you the time. I know you're going to put me on the spot. Out of the three, I think two get done for sure. For sure. Not for sure. Two definitely get done. Sorry, nothing's in life for sure, for certain, until they sign on the dotted line. The third one, I think it's 50-50 at this stage. Now you're going to ask me which one's what.
I can guess. I'll guess and you tell me if it's correct. I think the 50-50 is Trent, and I think Van Dijk and Salah are going to stay for one more. Oh, okay. Go on then.
I think Trent and Virgil get done, and I think Salah's 50-50.
Wow. Okay, that surprised me. Because I thought that.
It's a mess. I'm not sitting here and saying, nah, it's all good.
Nah, of course.
It's a mess. I've just given you a bit of background that people might not know about.
I didn't know.
That's opened your eyes a bit, right? It's like, oh, fuck, it kind of makes sense now. So much turmoil behind the scenes, right?
Bro, it's mad because that was why I just didn't interrupt or ask anything because this is new to me. I don't know Liverpool like that, right? I watch you on the pitch. I don't know what happens. I've got enough of my club in the background going on. So I need to know what has happened there, and it's